Guys, really looking forward to this segment every single week and doing this throughout the season. I think, a big part of the podcast for us is like to tell a lot of stories from our own careers as coaches and players and open up kind of the more human aspect of this position and the way that athletes function in general. And so this segment is every week going to be about the toughest situation that a quarterback is in college football. And I think, Mitch has been in that situation himself where he probably would have been the award winner at one point, and me as well a couple different times. And so I think that this segment is really just going to be a good one to explore about putting yourself in somebody else's shoes and really thinking about it. Because not only the newspaper articles, not only the boos in the stands, not only those things, but that guy has to walk away and deal with all of that. And I think it's so easy for fans, it's so easy for young quarterbacks to just kind of laugh almost at situations like that. And yet I've been the guy in the room alone, crying and feeling that. And so I think that this segment is a really cool segment for us that we're really looking forward to doing, just about a guy who's facing that challenge and what we think about the challenge that he is facing. So, Mitch, week 1, and I'm tipping it a little bit right now, but also could include week 0 here as well. But, our guy this week at the quarterback position in college football who is just dealing with a really, really difficult situation right now is
our guy, DJ U at Florida State. And, we can get on here and talk about the good quarterbacks. That's easy. That everybody's doing that. But we can sit here and talk for hours about the quarterbacks that are going through it, because we were both the quarterback that was going through it, where you're in your room after a game, you feel alone, you're crying, nobody understands what you're going through because there's only one starting quarterback on your team. And most likely there's probably only 1 or 2 starting quarterbacks in your life that you can talk to. Yeah. So it's a lonely feeling, man. It's the highest of highs, but it's the lowest of lows. And so when I see things like that, it's only natural for me, for my heart to hurt for a guy like DJ, because he is a great dude, and just on what I've heard from so many people, and the guy obviously loves football and works his ass off, and yeah, he got dealt a tough hand. They get knocked off in Ireland versus Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech's a good team.
Yeah.
And shit happens. You lose games. And especially at Florida State, there's a lot of pressure to win a lot of games and be a national championship contender, especially coming off a year where they were undefeated. And then you go into week 2 and, you're playing Boston College, a team that, outside looking in might just be, oh, it's Boston College. We should beat them pretty good. But I think a guy we skipped last episode is a guy like Thomas Castellanos, who's a great quarterback, and Boston College comes to town and you get beat. And now the reason why you came to Florida State and the reason why everybody else came to Florida State, every single fan for Florida State, the coaches at Florida State, all their goals for the year at Florida State are done. They're probably not going to the ACC championship game, and they're probably not going to make the playoffs. And when you go to Florida State, that is why you commit there, is to compete for ACC titles and compete for national championships. And in the first 2 weeks, those goals are done. And as the quarterback, you got to shoulder that blame. And Aust, you've been there before. What are some feelings, right? What are some just natural feelings that you have when you're feeling low like this? When you come off a loss or 2 losses and you're the guy to blame. Not because of your performance, but you're the quarterback, you're the leader. So you got to shoulder that and kind of take the brunt of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's a layered answer for me because I think it also draws on what you've already been through.
Yeah.
I think is a big part of it. So for me, the first times, fuck it, it sucked. It sucked. Like no one likes to lose. Trust me, dude. I'll cheat before I fucking let myself just lose the game. But we've had those moments going back to the dorm and like seeing the paper printed the next day and just knowing that you let your guys down and those things. I mean, those are heavy feelings and like ones that we're going to go home and internalize by ourselves. But I think, with DJ's situation specifically, and I can relate to it a little bit, but I think his is, much bigger, honestly, is like you go to Clemson and the way, I don't care what anyone says, the way that that's going to be seen at Clemson was that Dabo Swinney did not believe that he was a national championship caliber quarterback. Like, regardless of how you want to see it. Like, that I remember his second year playing full time. I have the stats here. He had a 54% completion percentage and threw 9 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, which, like, so much respect to DJ just for, again, the competitor he is, the quarterback, all of that. But we're just going to spit, facts. Like, it's almost tough to do that at Clemson. Like, to throw it below a 55% completion percentage and same touchdown to interception ratio, like, with those guys, that's almost hard to do.
Yeah.
So then he comes back his next year. He has a pretty good season, but there were those moments. And then the way it ended was just, like Dabo Swinney didn't believe that he was the guy. Think about that. Think about having to internalize that. And, in my coaching experience, I had a guy who felt the exact same way, Kelly Bryant. And, Trevor Lawrence came in there. So it's not a bad guy to come in there and replace somebody. But Kelly's 11-1. He's the ACC MVP of the bowl game or the ACC championship game against Miami. And he gets asked to leave, more or less. I mean, like, they played with him for the first couple games and then they gave it to Trevor. And just a situation where you now have to deal with the fact that, at least perceptively, people think that you can't do it.
Yeah.
You get to Oregon State, and now Jonathan Smith, hell of a ball coach. Now the head coach at Michigan State. Like, they did an unbelievable job of playing defensive football, running the ball, and then the opportunities that DJ did have were fairly controlled. A lot of play action, a lot of dumps to fullbacks in the flat, a lot of perimeter screens, a lot of just things that were easier for him. Still at that, under a 60% completion percentage. And 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, had a hell of a season. But again, as you watched it, did Oregon State have a hell of a season because of DJ? Like, that was never the perception.
Yeah.
Now you get recruited to go to a national championship contender and paid national championship money.
Yeah. And
you're coming in with the story from Clemson still as a part of you guys. This shit doesn't go away, dude. Doesn't go away. Like, Oregon State, knowing that you still haven't eclipsed that mountain yet. And so what I see in DJ is I see a player who is, like, stoic to a fault almost at this point, where it's just like, I'm going to do my job. I'm going to let the play come to me. If it comes to me, then it comes to me, and I'll make the play. And it's like, they needed a guy to light the fucking fire under their ass yesterday.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the guy. And so it's a long way of, setting up Mitch just with that perspective too, to talk about it. But I just think that now you're looking at an 0-2 start. Like, you're looking at, clearly the offense has been anemic through the first 2 games. And you are wearing the brunt of the responsibility of, let's just call it what it is. Like, every Florida State fan and all of those boosters that are paying money to DJ specifically, what were they thinking?
Yeah.
What did they get in these 2 games? And so it's not only letting people down, it's also the narrative that's been at you for a while is now here again and bigger than it's ever been. And now you have everybody questioning, like, if the season's already lost, then is this guy even going to be the quarterback through this season? Do we make a move here? And so it's to say that, like, aside from his family and God right now, like, maybe his girlfriend, but, like, he don't have much solid. Everything is floating. And the only reason that I can say that is because I've been that. And I know Mitch has been that too. And this is where, like, just think, I know I'm going, but just think about this guy walking around campus. What do you think the guys at the frats are saying? What do you think the people in his class are looking at him like? Think about walking into class the first day of the semester before you played a game and everybody going, DJ, DJ, and pictures and everything. And now some 5'8" frat kid telling you suck in front of the entire class. It's the reality of it. So, Mitch, when you think of DJ and you think of what he's going through and you think of the situation, like when we get into the toughest situation of the week, that's why I wanted to bring up the career, because it all plays a factor here. So, like, yeah, what are your big things just as you look at that and perceive, what might be going on for him?
Yeah, that kind of hit home for me because I've been there. Kind of that whole scenario, I didn't transfer, from a school, and then all this happened to me in 1 year.
Right.
We're halfway through the season, and I get benched. And the head coach goes in front of the press and says if, the other quarterback was healthy, Mitch wouldn't be our starter. And, the other quarterback's not healthy for 3 to 4 weeks. So now I got to play knowing my coach doesn't want me to be the starter. And he's put that out there. So now my teammates know he doesn't want me to be the starter. My school knows he doesn't want me to be the starter. So now I'm going in there as the starter, knowing my coach doesn't even want me out there. And, but yeah, man, first day of class, walk into the semester, we play on a Thursday night. First day of class is Friday. Go for like 4 touchdowns. Bro, I couldn't wait to go to class. First 3 weeks, I'm loving class. Class is great. People are taking pictures. People are saying what's up. People are having conversations with me, and then we start to lose, and then all of a sudden, you go out to wherever, and kids look at you, and kids tell you suck, and you're getting DMs on Instagram to kill yourself, and like and these are kids in your class, dude. I'm like, dude, we literally have a class on Monday. You just told me to kill myself. Like, right. What are we doing here? And yeah, it's a shitty feeling, especially when like, all your failures are public. Like everybody knows when you failed. You're the quarterback of a school, and Wake was nothing like Florida State. That is just so much bigger. And not that Wake wasn't big, but Florida State's a huge school and a national powerhouse.
Right, just money alone. Money alone.
And
right.
And yeah, man, it's a shitty feeling. And you sign up for that as a quarterback. I signed up for that. I signed up for getting pictures taken with me. I got signed up for kids coming up to me and telling me I fucking suck. That's just part of it. But yeah, man, there was some low feeling. There were low points, bro, where it was me and my parents and a few buddies, and that was it. And because when your coach goes out there publicly and says he doesn't even want you, and it's just like you feel like everybody's against you. So now you got to kind of put on this mask of you still have a job to do, and you got to go attack it, and it's hard when you feel so lonely. And this is how you and I are, and how we are as feelers, and we care about people. I was getting paid money, and DJ's getting paid way more than I was getting paid. But yeah, when we started losing games and I had to go look at the boosters in the eye, I felt bad because we weren't winning games, and it was money out of their pockets. And now it was money they chose to give up. And some of these guys are billionaires, so I'm not feeling that bad. But I'm feeling like I'm getting something I haven't necessarily earned, and it's a hard feeling to have, for sure. I don't want to be a guy that's collecting checks and not playing. Totally. And it was hard, and I wasn't returning the checks, but it's a tough feeling. You kind of you see it hit your bank account, you're like, yeah, that's great, but fuck, man, fuck. And it's just there's just a lot of times, man. I know what he's going through. There was just a lot of times where you just kind of look in the mirror and you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what the fuck is going on right now? I can't even. It's shit you can't control, and you
can't leave it. It's just
hell no, bro.
You can't leave it. Like
you can't fucking leave it.
I got chills when you just said that because A, the way you said it,
yeah,
you could tell you've been there, and
yeah.
B was like same thing, bro. Where I just remember like the little tiny bathroom in my dorm, and like the sink and the mirror in front of the sink, and me just
hands on the sink,
putting my hands on the sink. And just looking at myself and going, are you fucking serious, dude?
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck am I gonna do?
You almost start to laugh. You're like, this just can't be real life. I don't know what's going on right now, but this is not real.
Because there's so many layers to it. And you've touched on quite a few layers. I went on a long little monologue there about some of the layers. There's more.
Yeah.
How about this layer? How about this layer? You are coming off a great football season for the Oregon State program. Florida State is looking for their national championship level quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You build relationships in recruiting with Norvell and his staff, and they say, like, we're going to offer you this amount of money and get your ass here and let's go win a national title. There are now enough clips through the first 2 weeks to tell you that I know the coaching staff is disappointed in him right now.
Oh, dude, did you? There's a video last night where they walk past each other on the sidelines, and Norvell didn't even look him in the eyes; just walks right past him.
And that
I felt
dynamic,
that. I fucking felt that.
That's the
I've fucking been there.
That's the one that rips my heart out more than anything, because you're already on an island, and now the people that you made this agreement with and that you were coming in here to win a national title's gone already.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're sitting in flux. Am
Yeah.
I going to get benched? What's going to happen here? And your head coach won't make eye contact with you.
Yeah.
So you've let down people that you wanted. In the recruiting process, you were like, let's go, motherfucker. Let's go win a national
That's your guy.
title.
That's your guy.
That's your guy.
Yeah.
Because he was being recruited by other schools. Like, that's your guy.
Yeah.
And you just let his ass down.
Mm-hmm.
That's that part. The boosters part you touched about it. Dude, here's the other one, which to me is, for you, DJ, again, I love you, dog, and I'm praying for you. Because this one, the mirror talks is up there. But this one, I think, for him is as bad as any, which is, how do you try to lead this football team at all? Like, you didn't know the guys to begin with. Mm-mm. You've only known these dudes for 5-6 months.
Yeah.
They have national championship aspirations and are coming off of Jordan Travis, where, like, it's just been said over and over again that Jordan Travis was a dog, a leader, all these things. And now you bring in a more quiet guy who's also not playing very well. And to me, it's like, dude, I can tell you right now, there are some fuck yous being said in the locker room.
Oh, no doubt.
So many.
No.
And
yeah,
that's where, like, it fucking makes me sad, bro. Is like, how's that dude supposed to walk into that locker room?
bro, it's impossible, man. Because it's impossible to rally the troops when you're the reason why shit's not going right. Bro, I've been there. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to say at Tuesday practice when we've lost 3 straight and I'm the reason? Hey, guys, let's keep working hard. Hey, Mitch, how about you fucking win us a goddamn game? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to say?
Fucking wide open corner that's in the end zone there for you in the second quarter, you know?
Exactly. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? So now you can't even the way, especially as a transfer, the way you earn respect to your guys is you got to be a dog. You earn that through playing well. And if they're 2-0, bro, DJ's vocal. He's doing whatever the hell he wants. He's talking to the guys. Bro, I bet there's cats in the team won't even look him in the eye.
I mean, you saw quite a bit of it in the game, bro.
Yes.
The number of times I saw this fool standing on the sideline alone, with just like, there were people near him, but no one interacting with him.
No.
Like, I think that might have been the longest fucking 3 hours of his career during that night. But
bro, and it just touches back to, like, when I got pulled at Virginia Tech. Like, I don't know DJ, but I bet there's some sense of, like, when the games are over, there's just a sense of relief. Like, if they pulled him, he'd probably just be able to take a deep breath. Like, all right, that fucking sucks. And my whole vision of what this is going to be is gone. It's gone. And he could just use a deep breath, you know? And I went through it. Bro, my biggest fear came true. But there's so much bullshit was going on, and the feeling of just being so lonely and alone, bro, it was just such a deep breath. Because I was devastated, but I was like, all right, well, I'm already fucked up. Just, like, give me a day where I can just take a deep breath and don't have to deal with this. Because you can't escape it, dude. Because he's still the starting quarterback. There is still a game to be won in 6 days. Nobody cares. The defense he's playing does not give a fuck that he's hurt.
Fuck no.
Nobody gives a fuck.
They're upping their blitz percentages and
Yes,
shit.
bro. They see a fucked up dude in the head, bro. They want to add to it. And that's football. And you got to be a man and you got to fucking face it and you got to go. But that doesn't stop how you feel, dude. And bro, this is a kid from California who's on the East Coast who just met all these cats 6-7 months ago at a place, and I can't speak on the culture at Florida State. I don't know.
Right.
But in a place where there's a lot of transfers.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys are coming in to get paid and win a national championship.
Yeah.
Not necessarily make relationships.
Right.
So it's kind of already like a transactional thing, and I can't speak on it. I don't know, but that's just college football nowadays.
Right.
Bro, he's far from home. He's not with his family. I don't know if he has a girlfriend. But, man, bro, I had my guys at Wake, and I had my parents. And my parents were close enough to come see me after games. I don't know what his situation is, if his parents are coming out. I don't know. I'm sure they are.
They're
But, like, he doesn't.
his family's super tight. Good.
Yeah,
people.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they are. But what kind of friend group does he have? Bro, it's a lonely, lonely, lonely spot. But again, bro, you're put on a pedestal when you win, and man, it's lonely when you lose. And I think you can hear the passion behind me and Austyn's voice because,
sure.
bro, we've been there. We've looked in the mirror and just been like, what the fuck is going on right now? And I know I feel for him.
Let's have a crazy finish to this conversation. Like, as you brought up something that we've talked about a little bit in our stories and seems unfathomable to people who don't know about it. But the sense of relief when things get taken off your plate. Okay? Guys, if there's one word for why I was a great college football player, it is, it's two, but is my competitive temperament. Like, my will to win. Like, I was a bad dude, bro. And I'm very confident saying that shit. But the reason that I'm comfortable saying that is because what Mitch is talking about, relief, and what I'm asking right now, I was relieved when I tore my ACL during the middle of my senior year. Mm-hmm. And that's why I said the competitive temperament, will to win thing was like, how the fuck could somebody who's that type of competitor actually be relieved from getting injured? Like, this moment is not about me. It's not about Mitch. It's about DJ. And I want to finish it with like a tough question. You're DJ. Do you want to be the starting quarterback next week?
Holy fuck. I don't know, dude. Excuse my language. I don't know. Excuse my language. I mean,
let's see who, bro. Ooh. Memphis coming into you for a morning game at Florida State.
Bro, I think they're on a bye. I think they're on a bye. So you gotta sit on this for 11 days.
That's almost worse, bro. That's almost worse.
Bro, yeah, talk about a bye week. I threw a game-losing interception versus Georgia Tech week 4, and then I got to go sit and wait 13 days to play another game, bro. I mean, that was hell. And all I heard the next 2 weeks at practice, because the bye week practice is just like good on good, and all I hear is like, don't turn the ball over. It was the worst week of practice of my life, dude. Like, it sucked. It was the worst bye week ever. I was like, we please play a fucking game, dude. I can't do, like, I need a game. Like, it is just, oh, man. Because you know it's going to be fundamentals, don't turn the ball over, and it's just going to be like, and all you're going to think about.
Full fucking pads.
Yeah, dude.
28 periods.
Yeah, dude, it's camp, back to camp. But, like, bro, but the poor kid is playing, he's not playing to win, he's just playing not to fuck up. And you've lost at that point.
Let's throw our heart into this. What would you tell him right now? What would you tell him?
I think if I could go back and tell myself something, kind of what we talked about before, just perspective, I would tell him, if 10-year-old you knew your problems, how would you feel?
Right.
Because that's the only thing that's going to pull you out of this. What are you going to tell him? It's going to get better? Like, he doesn't want to hear that. That's a great question. I just talk to him about perspective. If 10-year-old you knew the problems you had right now, how would you feel? You'd be ecstatic to have these problems.
Yeah.
You know? What would you tell him?
I think it would definitely be, anchoring him in that. Like, I think that that's probably number one. But, bro, just that I love you and I don't even know you like that.
Yep.
I love you and I don't even know you like that. But I know the weight that you're carrying right now.
Yeah.
And I know that in these moments, it's like it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, dude. And we didn't even go that direction. Like he was already not in the top 5-7 quarterbacks in the draft.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you're talking about not being drafted. And so, I mean, and then I would, after saying I love you and after having that moment of perspective about what that you wished for these problems at some point in your life, then I'd probably give him the most loving fuck you of all time because he's richer than anything I could ever imagine.
Yeah.
And I started 30 college football games that didn't make a nickel. So I think that might bring some comic relief to his life too. But,
Yeah.
But either way, I mean, like, guys, like, DJ has clearly had a history of exemplary leadership, like just as a person, just being a great person. And like, there's a lot of people who say really good things about him.
Yeah.
So, just again, remembering the human element to this. And I think you can feel the human element behind how much Mitch and I like relate to what he's going through, feel what he's going through. And look, guys, like, hate to have an honorable mention list in this week, but like, think of my boy Graham Mertz down there at Florida.
Yeah.
Like, going through everything he went through at Wisconsin and now coming down to Florida and like kind of earning his stripes and like thinking of it as like a Joe Burrow year one at LSU, where it's like he went to Florida and like they were kind of up and down, but they showed glimpses of some things that he could do. And so he's going into his last year and he's like, dude, this is going to be the year. Like, let's do this thing. And gets his absolute ass kicked by Cam Ward and leaves the game with like, I don't know if it was concussion or what it was, but like leaving the game with that. And like another one who's like, that guy's been booed from every spot in the stadium in Wisconsin. That guy has been, after being one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the country coming out of high school and almost went to Ohio State and chose to go to Wisconsin to like pave a new way. And that didn't work out the way they thought it was going to work out. And like, I know Graham personally. I mean, that's an amazing dude, man. He's got a big heart and a great kid. And like, and I feel for him too. And so just to say that, like, as we go through these weeks, like, DJ ain't the only one. Graham's not the only one. There's fucking 8 other guys right now that are calling their families, that are sitting in their dorm. And there's 40 other ones that know that they're next up.
Yeah.
They're sitting in their room going, I hope it fucking doesn't go this way this week because I know it's coming next week if it happens. And fucking 15 of those are going to go like that. So.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but another thing with Graham is like now he's playing for a staff that's stressing out.
Right.
Like, I don't know what the deal is over there, but might be on the hot seat at Florida. And bro, when you get that stress, that's a whole nother thing. And if we're gonna go to honorable mentions, the guy that I thought of was Cade McNamara at Iowa.
That's exactly right.
And not that, bro, they put up 45 points first.
Right.
They played an FCS team. My point is, bro, you go into that game, it is a lose-lose. You're expected to score versus an FCS team. And if you don't score 56, you're getting booed because all offseason, all last year, you're being told how much your offense sucks. Right. It's like a meme. It becomes a meme on fucking Twitter of how bad they were offensively. And all that pressure, you're playing a FCS opponent. And if you score 56 points, you're like, yeah, no shit, you're expected to. And if you don't, bro, you're getting booed, you're getting shit on. I mean, this is an offense that's getting applauded to punt. It became like a laughing stock, and just so much pressure behind that. And again, nothing to do with football, just bullshit that you got to deal with as a starting quarterback and try to navigate. But man, yeah, it's just
that dude's got a brutal task on his plate this week too, because they got Iowa State in a rivalry game. Again, what Mitch said is like there's always celebrate the win, but like 40-0 at Iowa against Illinois State with as dominant of a defense as you have, where it's like they're not gaining any yards. Like 40-0 that's not great in that
Bro,
game.
it was 0-0. I think into the second quarter.
And I just checked his stats, like 20 for 31, 220 yards. And it's like, again, just not the game you're looking to have. And because of the narrative at Michigan and the expectation that carries over to Iowa with that stuff from Michigan, it's like, dude, you go play Iowa State, and they're a good team this year. Like, Campbell does the 2-3 year cycles where he knows he can't beat you every year. But every 2 or 3, dude, they're going to have a squad. And this is one of their squads.
Yeah.
And I think I saw ESPN, it's like a 2-point game, and it's like, or a 2-point spread. And you're playing against a good quarterback. And it's, yeah, that'll be one that, hell, Kate, I hope I don't have to give you center stage next week, dude.
Yeah. And we say all these things, man, just to bring light to what it's really like. Like, really, for me, like, the thing that bugs you the most when people are just sitting around bullshit and telling me a quarterback sucks. Like, you have no fucking clue. You have no clue what's going on. And that's really, like, why I like coming on here and talk about this stuff. Because all these guys, bro, my heart feels for all of them. Because I've been in every single one of their situations. And, man, I'm not saying I wish it was all good. Because that's just not sports. That's just not football. You pick this position for the highs and the lows. And you got to be even keel through it all. And that's why it's so beautiful, this position. If everything was easy, man, it wouldn't be fun. You know, it wouldn't be fun. But we're here to talk about the lows because people can relate to that. They can't always relate to all the highs, and we're trying to be a voice so people understand that this shit that we do is a lot fucking harder than what you think when you're sitting, when your fat ass is sitting on a chair watching on a Saturday drinking beer. So 100%. Shut the fuck up, all right? Everybody shut the fuck up.
I paid my $8 to your scholarship fund. And
shut up, bro. Shut the shut up, dude.
Let's go. Well, it's a hell of a bit there. And DJ, like we said, dude, all love, bro. All love, man. And yeah, look forward to doing this every week, guys. Eventually, I know that all you guys are going to start hammering us with who we should have done and who we shouldn't have and all this shit. And that's the banter that I'm looking forward to.
Exactly.
So if anything for us, I think something that would be cool is DJ U is going to find this video at some point. It's going to happen. Just drop a quote or something in the comments that like lifts him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see that. All right. Other than that, Mitch, you got anything else for the people?
Nah, man. Everybody just shut up.
Shut up, and we'll see you next week.